Hello and welcome to this video for the Space Combat Kit for Unity, where I'll be showing you how to set up the vehicle camera to release control of the camera when you exit a vehicle. So you'll have to bear with me a bit because I've got a bit of a cold, so my voice sounds a bit strange. So anyway, let's get on with it. So a customer recently wanted to use a different first-person character asset for their character and wanted the Space Kit camera controller to only work when the player was controlling a spaceship. So this is entirely possible with this kit. It comes with a first-person character included, a basic one to get you started, which is a vehicle just like any other spaceship or any other vehicle in this kit. But yeah, if you want to use a different asset, this kit will let you do that. But I realized that a couple of changes were necessary because there were a couple of things I hadn't predicted would happen. So let's start off with this empty scene here. We'll put a space fighter prefab in the scene, and we'll also drop the player in the scene. Now, setting up the player and the camera and everything like that, there's already tutorial videos that you can find on Vimeo that I've put up there for you. So I'll be going through this stuff real fast just to get this scene set up. But yeah, you can look for those videos on VSX Games on Vimeo. So we'll go to the player and drag the space fighter into the starting vehicle field here so that the player enters this space fighter when the scene starts. So we'll just run the scene. And now we have control of the space fighter. Now we'll create the vehicle camera, so add a vehicle camera component to the main camera. You can drag the space fighter friendly into the starting target vehicle field so that the camera starts tracking this space fighter when the scene starts. But you can also, when the player enters a new vehicle, you can drag the vehicle camera, the camera component, grab the vehicle camera, and use set vehicle. So that's for if the player won't start in a vehicle, then you would use this event here. So the vehicle camera will start tracking the space fighter when the player enters it, but the vehicle camera doesn't have a camera controller yet for the space fighter. So we'll add a child game object. It must be a child of the transform that has the vehicle camera here. We'll add that child game object, call it Space Fighter Camera Controller. Add a Space Fighter Camera Controller component. You can set these compatible vehicle classes, but for this demo we've just got one vehicle, so we don't need to do that. And then, since the vehicle is set on the vehicle camera when the player enters a space fighter, this camera controller will start operating, and we have the interior camera view. Alright, so that's basic Space Combat Kit stuff. So what about when you want to exit the space fighter and have the vehicle camera release control of the camera so you can use your own camera controller? So what we'll do is add a new game object, call it input, because we're just going to add some quick input here for the demo. Add custom input generic component, which basically lets you just call functions on any script when you press input. You can do it when you press a key, mouse button, or when an axis goes above 0.5. So for this case we'll just do key. When we press the F key on input down, so when the input is first pressed, we want to add the player, and we want to make the player exit the space fighter. Now, what I recommended to do before was call the game agent component with the enter vehicle function and leave that argument null. But the Unity events apparently don't work well with null references, because it tries to convert the null reference, which is an object, into a vehicle, and can't do that. So basically, we can't use that, this method of doing it. So I added a new function called GameAgentExitAllVehicles, which basically, in the code, it just calls enter vehicle with a null reference. So it works in code, but it doesn't work when you do it in the Unity event here. And I had to make another adjustment as well. So the player, when it enters a vehicle, it updates the vehicle reference on the camera. But this wasn't actually being called, this event wasn't being called when the vehicle was null. So I fixed that. So now it will pass the null reference to the camera, which will see that it's a null reference and basically disable all of the camera controllers. So when we run the game, we have the control of the space fighter, and then we want to press F. We've exited the space fighter, and we have also disabled the vehicle camera. So you can grab the camera transform and control its position or rotation with any other script, and the camera controller here will not continue to control the camera. So that's pretty much it. So we've basically exited the vehicle, released control of the camera, so now you can use your other first-person character asset or camera controller or whatever you've got there and integrate the space kit into your game alongside whatever other assets you've got in there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.